right. Hello, meditators. This is Kenlyn, and this is Brahman Kyrie.
Om Namo Narayani. Nice to meet you.
And as promised, I wanted to introduce you to her. She is amazing. She's been at my retreat before, just giving every woman a blessing there. And I just love her work because it's the heart of Divine Mother. It's the heart of love. So, and she has quite a journey herself.
Yes.
So I want to introduce you. I'll have you tell everyone a little bit about yourself, and then we'll go into a blessing. And this will only take 15-20 minutes, so stay tuned. Keep watching. So tell us a little bit about your story and how you came to be in Encinitas. She's like 8 minutes from my house.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love it here. So, yeah, I mean, the journey wasn't always an easy one. And there was a lot of shame. I came from a lot of shame, you know, and self-criticism. And really, I had no idea back then that I had any control over what I was experiencing in my life, you know. And I didn't know that I could change the way I felt about myself. And I always had really low self-esteem and just didn't like who I was at all. Very uncomfortable in this body and in this life. And my behaviours showed that, you know, like I did.
But I bet you wouldn't know it from the outside because you're this beautiful woman who was in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
So who would have known that you felt that way?
Yeah, exactly. I tried to hide it, you know, and paint that appearance of like everything's fine. But, you know, I had suffered from a lot of addictions and all that kind of stuff. And so really, and I couldn't kick it, you know, I just couldn't kick any of that stuff and change that behaviour. And so it was like this perpetual self-loathing, self-hatred and lots of shame. And anyway, and then I learned about surrender and changing my ways, you know, and really when I surrendered to this energy that I had no idea what it was, and I was just told that I had to pray every day. So I was like, okay, well, I have zero idea or connection to what you're telling me to do, but I'm going to do it because if I keep doing what I've always done, I'm going to get what I always got, and that wasn't good. So I was like, I'm going to try something new.
That was smart.
I'm going to try something different. So I started praying, and then I started to build this relationship with this energy that I now know is God, is Divine Mother, you know, is love, and it has changed my life. I am not the same person that I was, and the parts of me that were me back then are just enhanced and more, you know, lived in and awakened. So it's been a really long journey with self-love, and one of the things that I really use all the time, and I think hopefully I'll continue to use these tools, but is the parenting of the inner child, the little girl.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I had no connection with my feelings or my emotional nature. I did my best to try and shut them down most of my life, you know. Had no connection or no relationship with that part of me. And I used to drink and drug and all the mad things to try and squash that emotion because I had no idea of how to relate to it, you know.
To be with
how to be with it, how to love it. Couldn't hold space for it, and I just would blot it out, you know, or avoid it, disown it, whatever. And so part of my spiritual journey has been around connecting with that child, which is your feeling nature, your emotional body, and having a relationship with that part of me that's vulnerable, that gets triggered, that feels afraid, that feels joy, that feels excited, that feels abandoned. Like having a relationship with that part of me has changed my life. Totally changed my life. I know.
Yes, it is a game changer.
It is, you know. And so when I'm feeling, what I used to do, if I was feeling abandoned, triggered, whatever, I would act those feelings out or numb them down. But what I now do is I now shut my eyes and I just say to that little girl, I love you, little one, and I'm not going anywhere, and it doesn't matter how you feel or what's going on, I'm never leaving you. And I say that to her with my hand on my heart, no matter where I am in my day. If I'm in that space of my emotions, that little girl is feeling something overwhelming, and I talk to her, and immediately, because I've been doing it for a long time, the emotion, because I've spoken to it and her, the emotions dissipate, and I'm able to not be disrupted or overwhelmed or thrown off course because of my emotions, because I have a conscious relationship with that part of me now.
Yeah, That's so beautiful. We're doing, part of us are doing, we've got 2 meditations, and a lot of us are doing this hand on heart meditation, and just feeling the movement of the chest rising with the breath. Feels already like self-love.
So powerful.
And then chanting, but I've been doing before and after that. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you.
It's awesome. Yeah. So powerful. And every time I do that, like I'm getting goosebumps as I put my hand on my heart, you know. Mm-hmm. It's like honoring the divine within. And my inner child is like that vulnerable part of me that just needs looking after, you know. It just needs looking after. And when I can, you know, especially if I have, you know, sometimes when we're trying to change behaviours and we're trying to live into being who we want to be, and then we sometimes resort back to old behaviour, or maybe we've, you know, been critical or controlling or dishonest or whatever, while we're trying to really move into more of who we are as a soul, and sometimes we slip backwards. Well, that's, instead of going into shame, which is not a nice place to be, I just literally tell you, it's okay, little one, you're doing your best, and your best is good enough, and we'll try again tomorrow. You know, like, just like encouraging and
so
loving.
It's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is. But sometimes the emotion or the energy isn't that simple, because it's like, the tool is...
It's like a tornado.
It's like
there.
a tornado.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. It's like... But the more you do it, like even just patting my arm or definitely holding my heart, the more you do that, the quicker that part of you will respond, because it trusts you. She trusts me, or he trusts you. You know, like it's one of the most powerful tools I've ever used, actually. Yeah. To really evolve into who I want to be in the world, you know, and coming from that place of self-love and connection to self, and, you know, honouring it in others. So
that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I think that's why the 40 days in Kundalini, we set 40 days to end a negative pattern, and then we continue it to 90 days to replace it with a positive pattern. I didn't tell you all that yet.
That's great. And that's true.
That's what's coming next. But really just to make it a habit and a practice. And if you do that year after year after year, then you've really tamed that part of you that can sabotage your life.
Oh God. Yeah, I mean, I am so not the person I used to be. Like, if I could even tell you.
Did you know you would be here?
No, I did not. And, you know, I was still chasing that dream of being that Hollywood actress, and it just, and that's all great, but it wasn't where I was meant to be, you know. And, but I was, but even just the way I reacted to life, I was full of fear, you know, and so my behaviour would be reactive, fearful, wounded. I was really wounded, you know. I hadn't done any healing. Like 11 years ago when I got on the path, I was just a ball of fear and shame, and you know, and my behaviour did sort of dictate or denote that, you know.
We've come a long way. Here you are sitting. Tell us where we're sitting.
So this is the Narayani temple, and this is my guru, Sri Shakti Amma, and Amma is a great avatar of our time in southern India, and I go to see Amma and take lots of people to see her, you know, 4 times a year or whatever. And Amma's an avatar, so Amma is like God consciousness in a body, like the full omnipresence of the divine in physical form, and she's on the planet walking amongst us, and we have the good grace to be able to go and sit with her and talk with her and ask her questions, like you'd be sitting talking in front of the divine, what you would ask, and you can ask. And we say her, it's a man, but Amma is the embodiment of Divine Mother, an incarnation of Divine Mother. So you can go and sit with her and do puja with her. And this is the Narayani temple, so we do daily puja here, and we do meditations and different classes, mentoring, satsangs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so if you're more interested in your work and her work, it would be Shanti Mission. Is it Brahman Kyrie Shanti?
Oh no, it's Brahman Kyrie at the Brahman Project.
Brahman Kyrie at the Brahman Project. That's the Facebook
Shanti
page. Mission
is also an amazing school that I used to train with in Australia, and they're an Australian organisation, and they have an organisation in Colorado as well, and Connecticut. And so, yeah, we do here, the Brahman Project is a healing charity. And we do lots of things. We're about to start working in the jails and taking the satsangs and the mantra into the prisons here, which is really, really exciting. Yeah, I start doing that on Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Awesome.
and then we do other things like animal rescue.
Animal rescue, yes.
You know, and supporting different animal charities in India and other places, and here as well, Thrive Animal Rescue. They're amazing. And yeah, and lots of puja. Puja is a devotional ceremony where literally, basically, at this school, the Brahman Project is all about devotion. You know, it's all about like accessing the love and gratitude in your heart for the divine. And I think when you see constant demonstrations of this divine presence in your life, where if there wasn't a God, there's no way I would be here. You know, like it's. Right. I know I've had constant and repetitive examples of the divine in my life, and it's just, I mean, the gratitude and devotion that I have is like for saving my life so many times.
Absolutely. I mean, we talk about how we do the practice, not just with technical skill, like where you put your hands or how you hold the mudra, but also with devotion.
Oh, it just cuts through everything. The bhakti, the devotion, just cuts through everything, and that energy. And so, just so you know, when I started on the spiritual path 11 years ago, and I was praying to this energy, like I said, that I had zero idea what it was, but I just did it because I was told to do it. So I'm praying to this energy for like 6 years, you know, having no idea, but the miracles that were happening in my life are very real. And then I go to India and I go for my first blessing, and I looked into Amma's eyes and I realised that the energy that I'd been praying to that whole 6 years was in that body.
Oh, it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, and I recognised the energy straight away because of all the energy work that I've been doing with Shakti Deraga and Shani Mission, and I was like, oh my God, I'm standing in front of the God that I've been praying to. And then it was all over.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you for that. And you give satsang via live stream every Sunday at what time?
8:30 is the new time, 8:30 to 10:30 at Eve and Encinitas if you want to come in person, or you want to join us on Facebook Live.
Facebook Live, so you can catch the live stream at whatever time you are ready to do your devotional practice.
Yes.
So give us a little sampling of what you do in the satsang. Well, that was kind of it too. And then also you do a blessing.
Sure.
So beautiful.
Yeah. So why don't we just do a couple of little quick releases. And so just coming into your heart and closing your eyes. And you can have your hand on your heart if you wish. As we call on the Supreme God, Divine Mother and Father, God, Goddess, on Shiva and Shakti, Adonai and Shekinah. We call on beloved Shakti Deraga and Sri Shakti Amma, Om Namo Narayani. And we call on all of our teachers, friends and guides in the spiritual hierarchy who love us unconditionally. We call on you now. We call on the energy of peace, of love and joy. And we ask for the embodiment of more self-love than ever before. I ask this in full faith through the grace of God, so be it.
So be it.
And just say, I now release all negative thoughts, feelings, vibrations and emotions, from my mind, my body, and my energy field. So be it. Breathing in and releasing from everywhere, and just let go. That's it. Beautiful. And just being aware of your belly, your solar plexus, and just say, I surrender. All shame. Self-criticism. And self-judgment. That prevents me loving myself. Unconditionally. So be it. Breathing in through the top of your head and just releasing out of your belly, and just let go of, that's it, beautiful. Just letting go of any shame that you've ever felt or carried from any of your behaviour or other people's, just allowing that shame to go. That's it. Really good. And just say, I'm a child of God. Totally perfect. In my imperfection. I love. Trust. Respect. Accept. And honour myself. Exactly as I am. So be it. And breathing into your belly, and just feel lots of beautiful electric violet light and golden energy flooding your belly, flooding your solar plexus. That's it. Really good. And just putting your hands on your heart and just say to that beautiful little girl or little boy in your heart, I love you so much.
I love you so much.
You are my biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest fan.
I'm your biggest fan.
There is nothing you could ever do,
There's nothing you could ever do,
say,
or
or feel that would make me not love you.
that would make me not love you.
I love you so much,
I love you so much.
and I'm never leaving.
And I'm never leaving.
Breathing into your heart chakra and expanding. Really good. And just say, I'm doing my best.
I'm doing my best.
And my best is good enough.
And my best is good enough.
And I'm totally lovable.
And I'm totally lovable.
As a child of God,
As a child of God.
I'm totally lovable.
I'm totally lovable.
So be it.
So be it.
That's it. And then breathing into your heart and expanding. And just take that energy throughout your whole being. Your mind, body and energy field. Let yourself expand. Bringing more of your soul essence in. More actualized, realized, divine self into your heart. Through the grace of God, so be it.
So be it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
of course.
You know, it made me think that this is a cure for loneliness.
Oh God, yeah.
Right?
And you know, I've really suffered from loneliness over my life.
So many people
Yeah,
do.
definitely.
And it's funny, we think it's the absence of another person.
Yeah, I know. And then you get connected with your own spirit and with the divine, and you realize, oh my God, I've never been alone.
No.
I've never been alone.
No, it's just when you're disenfranchised from her, from him,
That's it.
that little boy, that little
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
that you then feel lonely.
Yeah.
But when you make that relationship again, I
Yeah.
just was getting that
Yeah.
as you were doing it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
full.
Like when there's been a lot of emotional pain and you're in the pit of that emotional pain, to be able to expand and to nurture that inner child, you do really feel like you're not alone, you know,
Yeah.
because you have to expand into more of who you are really,
Right.
and then nurture that small part of you that, you know, is having that wound or in
Yeah.
that wound.
Yeah.
And it really is the most sacred healing I've ever done.
And we're doing it right here, right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, so good.
Oh, thank you so much.
Of course.
And I'm so glad you guys joined in, and we'll see you on the next time.
Om Namo Narayana.
Om
Thanks so
Namo
much for
Narayana.
having me. Lots
Mwah.
of love.
All right, bye.
Bye.